weight loss, and wellness. I'm your host, Coach Monica. I'm joined today by Coach Darcy, and we are here to guide you through the ins and outs of a lifestyle that's transformed not just our lives, but the lives of countless women navigating the waves of perimenopause and menopause. Whether you're here to shed weight, understand your body better, or simply find a community that gets it, you're in the right place. So sit back and enjoy the next few minutes as we tackle the hot issues of today.
Hello. Hello, hello. I am not hearing you. Good morning, everybody. Can you hear me?
Technical difficulties for
There you
me.
go.
Hold on.
I hear you. Can you hear me?
This is what happens when we.
AirPods. All right. Can you hear me?
Okay.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you, but I can't see you. Can you hear me?
All right. Let me see if I can turn my front camera. I want to do, it gives me a bunch. I can see myself. All right.
Okay.
That's
Let's
not the
see.
one.
I don't know what's happening here.
Front camera.
There
All
we
right.
go. I see. Oh,
Yay.
okay.
Yay.
That was slightly awkward.
We are
Hey,
on the move.
everyone.
We are on the road.
We are on the road. Well, one of us is on the road. The other one is trying to be in control at home with this.
You're doing just fine.
This part. I'm
You're
going to
doing
take a
just
minute.
fine.
And I'm going to share. If you would do the same thing, we
Oh,
have some
yeah.
important news, and you may have a lot of questions right now. Like, for one, why are you 12 minutes late? And two, why is Coach Monica not where she should be? We'll discuss all of that here in a second. But if you would share out this video, as you can kind of see by my, I don't know if
Uh,
you even noticed
Can
my
we
my
talk
little,
about that?
yeah,
Can we talk about it? How did you do that?
with my hands.
Like, that
I
is just totally cool. I need to hire you for my publicist as well. Top
that took me
coach
like
publicist.
2 tries. That was it.
That is amazing. I love
Thank
it.
you.
We're
Thank you.
loving it all.
Thank you. So yeah, I figured we have a theme for today,
Yeah.
and this is
Oh
our
my
theme
gosh.
for
Oh,
today.
it's hitting me in waves. Green. Oh my
Ah,
word. Oh my word.
this is what we're this is all amazing.
This is.
So
We
if
could
you
go on the
would
road.
go and share out this video, because we have to do extra special ways of sharing on this side of the world.
Yeah.
So I'm also in delay mode, so I can share all this out. Okay,
Awesome. Can you hear me okay, Darcy?
I can.
Perfect.
Are people talking to you?
Well, there's announcements going on around me.
Oh, okay.
Aviation
Well,
announcements.
so we have a time schedule that we have to be done by.
Yeah.
Um, so let's talk about what the heck are you doing, Coach?
Let's talk about it. So, if you see something suspicious, is what is going on behind me now.
Okay.
So yeah, I was in the middle of a wrestling match last night. We have a weight loss support groups on Monday night, and I knew that I was supposed to get on a plane and I was supposed to go fight for our people, and I was supposed to go speak into the things that we've been fighting for all of these years of making America healthy again. And I'm like, oh no, no, no. I'm gonna sit at home. I'm gonna do a lot of tweeting for those young folks. That's the new X,
Oh,
or
yeah.
those old folks, right? I'm gonna sit at home behind my computer and I can totally meet with clients today. I can totally tweet from my home. And I'm gonna be the best social media warrior that you could ever be, because RFK is going through confirmation tomorrow morning, and I'm going to just be a great cheerleader for him, because he's the only person that I can recollect. I don't know about you, Darth, but have you have you heard of anybody who's willing to fight big pharma and the medical doctors and status quo for our health? Like, have you seen this in your short little life that you've lived?
In my short little life,
Oh, I just saw
and
your hat.
living
Wait a minute. I just saw your hat.
there's a
it's,
theme today.
it's hitting me. It's just like in waves.
Where's your hat?
Dude, I didn't bring it. Oh
Oh,
man.
oh,
Ah.
man. Anyway, I have not, and in fact, like, anybody that who has attempted to
Hmm.
come against the
Yeah.
big wigs, the pharma,
Yeah.
the big companies, just get shot down. Not
They do.
hopefully not literally,
Yeah.
but,
Yeah.
there's a big old fight. They don't
Yeah.
like it. They,
They're
are
mocked.
they're
Hmm.
mocked. They're very angry about it. So,
They're
um,
anti-vax, right?
and yes,
Anti-vax.
yes.
Yeah.
It's a battle that just as simple as wanting to have our foods labeled for what they are is
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
fight.
Right.
So when, I think with Callie and Casey and,
Hmm.
getting the politicians involved, that
Hmm.
was something that stirred up the
Yeah.
pot. And
Right.
RFK was like, "Yeah, if these people are gonna stand up." I mean, I don't know if
Then
this
I'm
is the
going to fight
case,
for them. Yeah.
but yeah,
They're going to
he's
stand with
in a
me.
place that he can do
Hmm.
this.
Yeah.
Now is it dangerous? Absolutely, it is.
Absolutely. Oh my gosh. He's
So
going against billions of dollars. This confirmation hearing
yeah,
is just historic. The
right.
amount of money, our own vice president, our own governor is in the back pocket of Lilly. And so
Yeah.
he is even, and he's a Republican, he is even fighting against RFK because when the truth comes out about all of these drugs and these poisons and these chemicals and these mandates of the vaccine world, by the way, RFK is not anti-vaccine. Like
No.
many might say, you're going to hear a whole bunch of crap in the
Yeah.
news upcoming in the next couple of days. He's not anti-vax, but he wants some accountability for the vaccine injuries. He's got questions. I have questions. Why do we
Yeah.
have so much autism right now? Why does the Amish community not have autism?
Right.
Well, guess what they don't have? So the questions that he is bringing up, nobody has dared to ask. Nobody has said, except for us peons who like we've got nothing to lose,
We're called crunchy.
we're called crunchy. That's me, right?
We get labeled as that
Yeah,
if we are coming up against this, like,
right. Yeah.
yeah.
And
Oh,
and
you're
people
just
are
one of
used
them
to that.
people. Yeah.
All right. They're used to that. But nobody has done this in the political world and now we have it. And so I'm sitting there last night. I was wrestling. I don't know if you saw my face. I had a pink eye yesterday and
Yeah.
I looked like a hot mess, but most of me was just wrestling because I knew that I was supposed to go today. I knew that I was supposed to get on the plane today. I let finances. I'm like, oh, that's going to be way too expensive. So I typed in Chicago flights. I typed in Indianapolis flights. They were $822. I typed in South Bend, which is 40 minutes from me. Tickets were $120. So then I lean on my husband, who
Yeah.
is who doesn't like me to leave. He's like, "Well, do you have to?" Like, I mean, he wasn't great. He wasn't enthusiastically sending me off, and so I leaned on him, and I'm like, "Well, okay, the tickets are $122 for a flight, but the hotel, there's no way I'm going to get anywhere near downtown DC,
Yeah.
and those things will be outrageous." So in the middle of our weight loss support group, I just Googled Priceline and I did a package, $532, like for 2 days. So it's in the middle of that.
Yeah.
I called my husband in after our session and I said, listen, I need you to talk me out of this. You can fully tell me not to go. And he's like, not the typical Brian. The typical Brian would been like, giving me every excuse. He was like, he wasn't thrilled, but he's like, do what you need to do. So I just thought, you and I both have stood on the front lines for health and fought hard for our clients. We have fought and fought and fought. Who am I to, when it comes down to the ultimate game of getting this man confirmed,
Mhm.
who are you to stay home?
Right.
What right do you have to stand and sit behind your keyboard and just talk. We have a lot of people just talking, right?
Hmm.
Nobody doing
Yeah.
anything. And so the thing that crossed me over was I had seen a mom's group who said, "Hey, we're going to meet there 5 a.m. There's 40 people that can get into the confirmation hearing, but we're not overflow." And they were talking. I'm like, "Oh, this is a fringe moms group." Well, then Casey Means said, "Listen, I've not asked you for a lot, but I need you to show up tomorrow." And Callie, me, actually, it was Callie, and I need you to show up, and I need you to wear green, and we need to support this man, so he is confirmed. And we are in Indiana. We have a waffling senator who is not sure what he's going to do. Todd Young is not sure what he's going to do. Well, guess who? My first stop is at about 1 o'clock this afternoon when I get on that plane.
Right.
First stop is Senator Todd Young's office. By the way, if you're in Indiana, you might want to give him a call because he seems to be not liking the things that Trump is doing. So we need his vote. Yes. An amazing hero of mine is my new Senator Jim Banks, your new Senator Jim Banks,
Hmm.
who is fully on board. And actually, that is my first stop when I get there because they have resources for me. They're going to link me up with the right people. They're setting up their questioning for RFK tomorrow. They are a huge supporter. So he's my first stop when I get there.
Yeah.
So yeah,
So
we don't have a choice. We either
no.
just yap about it or we do something,
Right.
and we got to do something.
So in this world of, okay, coach, or whomever people call you on the outside that's watching this,
Mhm,
Monica, why is this so important to go to Washington
mhm,
and to, I mean, your physical body to go there? Why
mhm.
would you do this? I know you kind of explained a little bit,
Yeah,
but go a little bit more into depth about the importance of this support, and tell
yeah,
me what you were explaining to me, like
yeah,
the importance of lobbying, like you
yeah,
tell me these secrets, and not secrets because it's like anybody can do this, but tell me what it means as a
yeah.
physical one person body
Right.
flying all the way to Washington DC. What does that mean?
Yeah. Let's take a step backwards from the physical body. So there are so many people who sit behind social media. They believe everything we say. They believe what we're talking about. And they're like, "Yeah, you go, because I don't have that voice." There's the silent ones. So right then and there, they could start to use their voice and start to speak up over social media and say, "Hey, I'm really tired of being poisoned. I'm really tired of the government controlling our food system. I'm really tired of unanswered questions about these vaccines. I'm really tired of cancer producing influencing the food," right? So they can start to speak up on social media. Politicians hate that. They hate the light. Politicians want to hide in the dark and they want to say sometimes the bold things, but they don't want to do anything. Well, when you start holding them accountable on social media, they're like, "Oh, I'm going to take note of that. Oh, if things are getting a little bit loud over there, they take note of that. They see you. Your friends see you, your friends, it spreads. Courage
Yeah.
breeds courage." Second thing is when you pick up the phone to call your senator, by the way, this is an instruction for you. When you pick up the phone to call your senator, it's worth, and there is a specific number for each one of these layers that I'm going to talk about. But when you pick up that phone, you represent about 500 people who feel the same way you do. They take note of that when they check your little box. When you say, "Hey, please support RFK," they check the yes box. That represents a certain amount of their constituents, right? Especially if you are in district. If you're calling and saying, I am Darcy Harville from Indiana. I'm calling Senator Todd Young and I'm asking him to vote yes for RFK." Okay. That represents about 500 people who feel the same way, who just don't have the courage to call. When you write a letter, it represents even more work, which adds about 500 people to that. "Oh gosh, if Darcy feels this way, she's writing to me, she's worth about 1,000 people," right? Then, when you show up at their office, we're talking about 5,000 people your body represents. That she got on a plane, she's going to speak into health. There's a lot of people who feel this way. And so when you go through those levels and you make a difference, you start by just opening your mouth. You represent a whole host of people who will stand behind you who feel the same way as you do, right?
Right.
When you speak, you move the hearts. I remember walking down. I was in Washington D.C. on a media tour one time when we relieved our senator of his duties, and I was on a media blitz. I remember walking in the tunnel between the Capitol and my senator's office, and Rand Paul changed his vote from his office in that tunnel to where he went and told the yes vote. You can change the minds of people, and so that's my goal. You know what's going to happen. I have no idea. If I'm just one of many, I'm going to be wearing green. I would love to meet, some of the heroes of the front lines, the Callies, the Caseys. That would be
Yeah.
amazing. I'm just going to stand in and whatever I'm supposed to do when I get there, I'm going to do. I'm going to do a lot of live Facebooking. I'm going to do it. So please tune into my Facebook. If you don't follow me on Facebook, you'll see that I've got one I'm getting ready to post here in a few minutes. So I'm going to document the whole trip. I'm going to document everything, and I'm going to try to change the minds, specifically Todd Young, because we don't know where he stands.
Right.
So
And
if
you
you are
think
in
about,
Indiana, give him a call.
well, there is actually a list that who I think it was either Callie Means or
Yes, yes,
that she gave a list of the phone numbers to call.
yes. There's 7
Uh,
of them
yes.
that are on the fence.
Yes.
Mhm.
I'm not sure if I saw
Yeah.
Todd Young on there. Did you?
He is not. He is one
He's
that
not.
he's one that has not declared what he is going to do.
Mhm.
My responsibility is Todd Young because he's my senator. So
Right.
Darcy, I don't know if you have an extra keyboard there, but if you could Google Todd Young's cell phone or two cell phone, Todd Young's contact. I don't have a cell phone. If you could Google that, and I don't know if you've got that. If you don't, that's
I
okay. We'll place that.
don't
Okay. If
know.
I move my if I move my stack of books here, because I got a whole people are looking at me kind of funny, but I got
I'm
a stack
not
of books. It's
I'm
just
tech savvy, just not as tech
Senator.
savvy as you.
Type in on Google. Type in Senator, and if one of our listeners here could type it in the comments, that'd be great too. Senator Todd Young, Indiana, contact. It should pop right up. Should be like a 1-800 number or something like that. So if one of our listeners
You said
types that in,
contact?
contact info. Yeah. I'm afraid to touch any of the buttons because I'm afraid it'll
I
send
got
me
you.
off.
I got you.
If we don't speak up now, this is the only time in history that we have had a voice in the health world. Imagine what would happen if we were able to cure chronic disease. Imagine what would happen if we were allowed to talk about it, if we were allowed to say you can get off your medications. Imagine what would happen to our economy, number one, without big pharma. So speaking of it's big pharma, one of the questions as a lobbyist, one of the questions you have to ask yourself is number one, who are your friends? Number two, who are your enemies? Who are your detractors, right? In this case, who are the detractors? Detractors are doctors who want to be pill pushers. They want their big yachts. They want the vacations. They want all of this, the fancy stuff. They really don't want to cure diseases. And all doctors are not in their category. We're going to see that upcoming tomorrow. But the other big one is big pharma. Billions and billions of dollars are on the line with big pharma right now because you and I have proven with our own clients, you can cure type 2 diabetes. Type 2 diabetes is a choice. PCOS is a choice. You can reverse this with your nutrition. We're not allowed to talk about that because of big pharma. Did you find anything?
I posted his
Wonderful.
Yes, I posted
If you are listening to us and you have a different senator, feel free to drop his or her name and phone number so that people can pick up their phone and call. And like Darcy said, there is a tweet out there from Callie Means or Lucy Means, I believe it's Callie, that has the 7 detracting senators.
I'm trying to find it.
Yeah. I posted it on my page as well. The book you have behind you, Brain
Yeah.
Energy. Do you realize you can cure mental health? Our mental health crisis is
It's
out
so
of
bad.
control.
It is so bad.
You can reverse this with the diet, with the getting rid of the seed oils, getting rid of the sugars, getting rid of, by changing your diet, he is watching, Dr. Chris Palmer is watching mental health, the crisis reverse itself. It would be great to see Dr. Palmer at this
Right.
event. So your voice matters. We are here today where we are because America said, I don't care what political party you are. I watched people switch parties this last election like you wouldn't believe, because they were so tired of being sick and tired. They were tired of the way the country's going. I'm so confused right now as to what party I am. I am. I'm like, I was born a Republican, right?
Yeah.
I'm getting on a plane in a few minutes to go support a Democrat. So confused. My head hurts. I like boxes. There is no boxes when it comes to freedom. No
No.
boxes. I can't be put in a box anymore.
It comes down to a lost art that we have forgotten about is the power of why and
Yeah.
questioning. And instead of just we like to follow these people,
hmm
but a lot of these people have an agenda,
hmm
and we don't realize that for years. I feel like America has had this agenda, and it's just
hmm
taken a long time, and we are at this peak
Yeah.
that's happening right now of not only are we seeing the symptoms and um the new diseases that are forming, like all these things are starting to form now,
Yeah.
finally,
Yeah.
after the years of utilizing and manipulating, and where nobody's asking why.
Right.
And the people
Right.
that are asking why are, "Oh, you're just one of those weird nuts that,
hmm
are just you just see America in this way." And,
Yeah.
we get put in a box
Yeah.
because
We
we're
do.
thinking
Sit
because we're
down and shut
thinking
up.
outside. Right.
hmm Yeah.
Because we're thinking outside of the box.
Yeah.
And I think it's important for us to realize that in anything that you stand for, I don't care if it's even opposing us, you
hmm
need to ask the whys. You need to
Right.
ask, okay, well, this doesn't make sense. So, they said this over here,
hmm
and then they're saying this over here.
hmm
What's the actual truth?
Look at the
And
American Diabetes Association. They're lying to people, saying,
right,
"Oh, have this fruit for breakfast with the oatmeal." They are, no, and nobody asks them why. Like you said, nobody says, "Well, why are we not getting healthy? Why are we not reversing this? Why are we still taking insulin? Why? Why? Nobody's asking why."
right,
When you ask why, you start to wrestle a bunch of hornets because well people do not bring in money. Sick
right.
people bring them the money. When you mess with their money, you wrestle with a bunch of hornets. So what surprised me is I've always been on the pro-life front, in the lobbying world, the pro-family movement, the conservative movement. I've never been on the health movement before until now. I wanted out of lobbying actually. Um, I didn't realize that there was controversy with people wanting to be well.
Yeah,
I didn't realize we would have detractors. I didn't realize. I'm like, who doesn't want to be well? Well,
right.
you're pill
Well,
pushers.
they see a lot of the people that are against it seems, and this was when I was in the GMO world, when we were
hmm
just asking to label this genetically
hmm
modified stuff that scientists created. It's not even you can't even use the excuse anymore. Oh, if God created it, I'm going to eat it. Well,
Right,
God really did not create corn to look like it does today. Actually, man did. So
right.
let's focus on that. But like when you are in the lines of Monsanto and just trying to get to label something, they'll just call you like, "Oh, you're just not into
hmm
change. You don't like
Yeah,
science. You're
progress.
anti-science."
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
And it comes down to, yeah, I'm not against science because actually science is amazing. It's beautiful when it's natural
hmm
science. But if it's
Yeah.
man-made science where they're just putting chemicals together and these
hmm
combinations that create addiction
Yeah,
through our foods, I have a problem with that. When I
yeah.
see that my child that I'm trying to raise um, is is struggling in school because he can't
hmm
focus, because
Yeah,
he can't, fill in the blank.
right.
you got to start to ask, well, what can I be doing to help
Mm-hmm.
him or her?
Yeah.
What can I be doing
Yeah.
to prevent this from happening? Why is my child at the age of 6
Mm-hmm.
overly morbidly obese already?
Yeah. Yeah.
We have to ask ourselves that, and we have to be concerned when a 6-year-old has type 2 diabetes. We have to
Yeah.
ask ourselves why this is happening, that our child is needing to
Yeah.
eat all the time and they're
Yeah.
never satisfied.
Yeah.
Why
And
they
that takes
can't think
courage to
clearly.
ask those
It really
questions.
does.
Yeah.
Um, but it comes down to, how are we feeding our kids in
Right.
the same breath?
Oh
But
yeah.
it's not fair in a lot of ways,
Oh yeah.
because we are following the system
Mm-hmm.
of what the government, these
Yep.
specialists, these so-called doctors are telling us
Yeah.
is good for our bodies, and it's
Yeah.
doing the opposite. And we
Yeah.
have the data. That's the thing. They
Mm-hmm.
ask, well, where's your data?
Yeah.
People that are going
You got it.
against the system, the
Yeah.
people that are deciding that Whole Foods
Mm-hmm.
is important,
Yeah.
that going back to how our ancestors used to eat is
Mm-hmm.
important, and it's changing their bodies. It's getting
Yeah.
them off of these medications. They no longer have
Yeah.
17 medications.
Yeah.
They have maybe 1 or 2.
Yeah. But like
But
we've talked about so often though, Darcy, you are a mom, and it takes courage for moms to do this. Like
mhm,
it is not an easy feat because number one, our kids are addicted to the standard American diet.
yeah,
They get it at school, and our biggest fear, your biggest fear is, oh my gosh, what if I'm like my mom who focused on the wrong kinds of health? I
yeah,
don't want an eating disorder in my kids. So a lot of it is, even it takes courage to go to the lawmakers, say, you do your thing. You do, I'm going to Washington, D.C. right now, pointing my finger. We need you to change. Please, appoint RFK, do this, do that. What takes even more courage on this side is me looking at my family and saying, the change is here. I
yeah,
am going to change this, but I'm not going to, like you say all the time, it's really hard when you're a mom, but you don't have to take it all the time. You can
right.
tweak so that they don't even know. We've got a program in our program that is Keto for Kids. It teaches you how to
Yes.
convert your family without them even knowing. But that takes courage as a mom. So not only do you need courage to tell your politicians, you go do this, you got to have the courage to do it on your side. And it is
Yeah,
hard. If you're living it, you are living. I
I
failed
am.
as a mom. I failed as a mom. My kids are adults, and all I can do now is live my life so that they can see, and hopefully
Yeah,
they'll change their kids. Right?
right.
I failed. You're in the hot seat right now. Hot seat.
Yes, and here's an interesting conversation. Like, yes, yes, I'm the one that brings in the food.
Mhm,
I've made a choice over time to, um, because we can
mhm,
afford it a little bit to, push the whole foods more, the organic
mhm.
things, even though not all organic things is actually organic. You have to
Yeah,
do your research.
yeah,
So switching over to dye-free types of foods and having
mhm,
conversations. I
yeah,
feel like I got into a point where I messed up to the point of, 5 or 6 years ago,
yeah,
not realizing how I was poisoning my
yeah.
child.
If you had been 2 years old now, you'd have a different situation.
Absolutely, because they wouldn't really have that choice of like,
Yeah.
"Oh, well, I like this stuff. Oh, I'm picky, blah blah blah."
Yes.
I was never a picky child as much as my children are. Um,
Mhm.
but being able to sit down and have a conversation with them yesterday was fantastic. I was able. Hold on a second.
I'm sorry. Can you mute
It's
me?
I
Can you
don't
mute
know.
me?
I don't know.
I think I can mute myself. Let me try.
Oh, okay. Okay, there. So don't forget to unmute yourself. Um, so what I was saying is I was able to, my children are at this age where they're in a going to school and they feel like they're struggling. One of them, he learned super easy. The other one is a lot like how I learned. It's a struggle. And I sat them both down saying, are you struggling being able to concentrate in school? If you are, I have the answer if you're willing to do it. But if you're not willing to do it, then you're going to have this fogginess in your brain for a really long time. So we had just the importance of sitting down, talking to them in a young man approach or a young lady approach and saying, this is what the foods that you enjoy eating are doing to your mind. It's causing you to not be able to focus in the way that you want to focus. It's causing so many problems and issues with even Colin's getting into the teenage world. The acne starting to show up. I'm seeing little bits and pieces of it. And I'm like, your mom knows how to prevent these things and help better. And are you willing to do things a little bit better in this department of eating better, of eating, your proteins, things like that you avoid?
Yeah.
So in that aspect, it takes work, and it's going to take work for them because, like me, I have a food addiction.
Yeah.
Like you have a food addiction, and you know how challenging it is to go away from all of that. But
Yeah.
the importance of making America healthy again is the fact that we no longer will have to, we will. It's a battle ahead of us. But the idea of getting rid of the things that are not helping the situation, like all of these dyes. Now, I just want to say one more thing about that. People out there listening, it's not just the dyes that is getting rid of the dyes and banning them that's going to make you healthy. Keep that in mind. Yes, it's a fantastic win, but it is a part. It is a part of the system that's causing us to be unhealthy. And so for all you mamas out there that think that, oh, I'm just feeding my kids natural blah, 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 and dye-free stuff, that is not the answer.
No,
That's
no,
not
it's
the
not.
complete answer.
Because
So
here's what happens when we win, when RFK is confirmed, when we win, the big food, the big pharma is going to have plan B. This just hurt our bottom line. Our CEOs are not getting their big bonuses anymore. We're going to have to go around, and we've seen it happen with the beef tallow, right? And Dark, I can't see any of the comments. So if there's anything in there, let's highlight them.
Yeah.
But as we saw with the beef tallow, right? They're putting toxins in the beef tallow and calling it beef tallow. So they're going to be trying to skirt the process. So educating yourself is of utmost importance when it comes to change, right? Also, a lot of people think McDonald's is cheaper to feed. You're right, 100%. I used to think that.
Yeah.
Number one, I was too lazy to cook for my kids, so McDonald's was a lot easier. But I always thought, oh yeah, it's a lot cheaper.
Yeah.
It's not.
You say about the laziness of yourself. And I think a lot of us can relate to that. But the reason why we get to that lazy point is because we have overconsumed our schedules and filling it up. So to that point of you're maybe not necessarily lazy, but it is convenient to be going through these drive-throughs.
Right.
It's convenient. But anymore, some of these restaurants, you go and you feed a family. I just get the boys some hamburgers sometimes. We rarely go out, and when they're like, we really want a cheeseburger, we'll go, and I'm spending $20 for just a cheeseburger. Like we don't get the extra stuff. But it's one of those things where you have got to understand that you filling up your schedule to the max is not helping prevent having any or going through any of the drive-throughs. Plus, you will save a lot more money when you don't go out to eat. As much as you want to deny it's so cheaper, it's one of those things where you've got to make that decision. Pre-planning. Yeah, I know that's hard and it's going to take some work. But we've got to get back into the system of putting a little effort into our health.
Yeah. We've got a full rounded problem in America. We've got the problem in the corrupt food industry. We've got the problem with the corrupt pharma industry. We've got corruption all around us with the politicians, but we also have responsibility that falls in our lap of number one, not paying attention to politics because that's been so dirty, right? Not getting involved in politics, saying if somebody else is going to do it. So we have ignored that. We've got the whole church. We've outsourced our parenting to the church, to everybody else, right?
Yeah.
And then we have just taken the lazy way as parents and as as families, and we've taken the convenience because, like Darcy said, the schedules have overtaken our life.
Yes.
And so Darcy and I have just come to the point as health coaches, we don't have a choice whether we get involved. Um, Poor Darcy, she had no idea. We don't have a choice because it's either let them take over, let them speak for us, or we get on a plane and we go, or we get on the phone, we call our senator and we say, listen, we're the one with power in a phone call, in a tweet, in a Facebook message. And then you even know. Every time you share one of Darcy and I's posts, you are making a difference, right? So we just want to empower you. Number one, I need empowered because I am scared to death. I don't remember traveling alone ever. Like that was part of my problem last yesterday. I'm like, I don't want to get on a plane because Brian always carries my bags. I'm gonna have to carry my bag. I'm gonna have to find an Uber when I get there. I'm gonna have to be a big girl when I get there.
Yeah.
I don't even know. I don't know how I'm gonna get from the airport to my hotel at this point. I have no idea. But we're gonna do it. We're gonna press the Uber button and we're gonna see it happen. I don't know how to get down to the Senate office. I have no idea what I'm doing. But I don't have a choice. We don't have a choice. We're gonna fight for our clients. I'm taking every name of every client we have. I did a couple of client calls on the way here. I'm taking them, putting them in my back pocket and saying, you know what? I'm fighting for you. We're fighting for you because we are sick and tired of being on the receiving end of attention. You know, there's a lot of people here at South End who love to drink really early in the morning. I'm really shocked, actually. Like, I don't
Are
know.
you
I didn't
sitting
know
at a
this.
bar?
I'm sitting in a bar. Yes. I'm drinking my coffee. And they're serving hot dogs here, so I don't know if it's a bar. There's a lot of alcohol in.
Oh yeah. People don't
Yeah,
know what time it is. I mean, it's almost 12 o'clock.
yeah. I forgot it's beer time apparently. So
Yeah.
we want to empower you guys. Darcy and I thought, oh, should we cancel tomorrow? And then we got fired up. We're like, oh heck no. And then while I was driving, she like did this production, so Make America Healthy Again. Jeez. And I'm so mad I forgot my hat.
Well, you should
I
be.
got this nice business suit that I'm wearing
Yes.
tomorrow, like with
Yeah.
heels and black pants and a bright green shirt. I could have worn
You
my
could
hat.
have. It would have. It would have snazzied up your outfit.
Shoot.
But I'll be.
I don't know what's going to happen this weekend, but please pray if you could pray for favor for me. I don't know who I'm going to meet. I don't know. I brought my business cards. I don't know who I'm going to meet. I don't know what I'm going to say. I don't know where I'm going to be. But if you would just pray for favor, that to be where I'm supposed to be, to do what I'm supposed to do. That would be amazing. 317. What is that
This
number?
is
That
Todd.
that's
This is
for
Todd
Todd
Young,
Young.
and I put it up there for a
All
while
right.
just so that people can write it down
Wonderful.
and just.
If you are in Indiana, please call this number, Todd Young. He does not know if he's going to vote for RFK. I'm going to go see him when I
Yeah.
get there. I think that's my first or second stop.
I'm writing it
So
down.
if you're in Indiana, that's the number, 317-226-6700. Thank you for posting that, Vonda.
Also, give them the line one more time of when you call, because some people are like, "Well, I don't know what to say." So give them
Yeah.
a line of like when they
Yeah.
call this number,
Yeah.
what do they expect and what should they
Yeah.
say?
Yeah. I would say, Senator, you said, if you have a Republican senator, you said that you want to make America great again. This is part of your job. If we're going to make America great again, we're going to make America healthy again. We need to confirm RFK as soon as possible. So we want you to vote yes for RFK, the Health and Human Services. And just know that there's a lot of misinformation. The man is not anti-vax. He is vaxxed himself, right? He wants accountability. He wants, for all of his vaccine injured kids, he wants questions asked. He wants the food industry held accountable,
Yes.
right? So ask your senator, please vote yes to confirm RFK as soon as
Right.
possible. That would be my simple message to them.
I would
Yeah.
end this as, saying if you like being a science experiment and gambling with your
Mhm.
life, continue
Mhm.
doing what you're doing by trusting the government and the
Right.
FDA and the
Yeah.
CDC, all of those
Yeah.
people, because they're all tied together. If you like
Yeah.
being a science experiment with having 50 million different types of pills because one just doesn't cut it
Mhm.
because you keep
Right.
getting other things wrong with you, or
Symptoms lead
more
to more
pills,
pills, right.
then
Yeah.
continue.
Yeah.
We're telling you, if
Yeah.
you don't want RFK in there because you like being a science, because what they do is they test on
Mhm.
animals, and that's what they do.
Yeah.
They test on
Yeah.
animals, and then they
Exactly
just
true.
sneak it in and say, "Oh, nobody's gonna
Yeah.
notice." But when things are
Mhm.
starting to become noticeable, like now is a little bit for some people, it's too late.
Yeah. Yeah.
But if you want to save your kids from this crap,
Yeah.
then
We got a window of time right
right
now.
now is your time. If you are done
Yeah.
being
If not now.
if you're done being in
Mhm.
a science experiment, if you're
Yeah.
done just bowing down and trusting everything that these people are
Mhm.
saying to you, even though you are
Yeah.
feeling different, your body's feeling different,
Mhm.
and they're trying to convince you,
Yeah.
"Oh, this is normal." It's not
Yeah.
normal. Our
It's not
bodies
normal.
were
No.
created to heal themselves, believe it or not. Our
Mhm.
bodies are the
Yep.
best science project on the planet because of how we work.
Yeah.
So, it's pretty amazing that our bodies
Yeah.
can, by golly, heal themselves, and it
Yeah.
starts with what you put in your mouth, putting on
Exactly.
your
And
body.
that's why Darcy and I coach, because we don't want you to change your life and be miserable. We have the recipe, and that's why we spend hours with our clients, because we want to make it realistic for you. We want to put it into your specific life. We want to show you how that you don't have to give up the yummy foods. You don't have to give up all of those things that that you think you do. And so that's why we do that. If you need help,
Yeah.
please reach out to us. We're having our last carnivore meeting tonight. I think I'm gonna be able to like tap in, but we're gonna these people, make
Yeah.
sure you find out how much they lost.
Oh, yeah.
It was almost 150
Oh,
pounds
yeah.
last week.
And
So
that's yeah.
awesome. That was
Yes.
a side note.
I'm excited.
Side note there, but
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, yeah. So if you need help, kmhelpcoaching.org. Also, if you wouldn't mind, after we close this out and after these videos post, if you wouldn't mind sharing, that way we can get more calls to the senators. Start speaking up, guys. Start speaking up. Uh, all it takes for evil to prevail is for good men to do nothing. Edmund Burke said that, and I live my life by that. I tried to avoid it last night. I'm like, I finally typed in a price line, and I'm like, okay, if it's under $600, all right, okay.
It's kinda like that reel.
532.
It's that reel when people are going to Marshalls or somewhere, and they're like, "If it's
Yeah,
under
yeah,
$6, I'm gonna get it."
yeah.
Yeah.
532. So my plane board's in about a half hour. So if you wouldn't mind, please share this with your family and friends. Let us know if it's been helpful to you, and also keep
Yes.
me in your prayers.
Also, go and follow Coach Monica, and she's gonna post what she sees there, and share those videos
Mhm,
out. I see it
mhm.
as, one more thing. I'm just gonna add more.
Yeah,
We often
yeah.
get, "Well, coaches, aren't you afraid that, because you're a coach, like, people are learning this stuff, so they're not gonna need you." Well, we're not afraid of that because we're
Mhm,
empowering people to take health back for themselves,
mhm.
and it's like a spider web.
Yeah.
It's going to just spread, and the
Mhm,
people that we impact will then impact another set of
mhm.
people, and those set
Yeah,
of people will then impact another, and that's
yeah,
how the word spreads. That's how
yeah,
health, um, for
yeah.
the positive will help, and
Mhm.
improve and
Yeah,
empower. So,
yeah. We believe in that so much. We even certify our
yeah,
own coaches. We just had one graduate with a carnivore
yeah.
and keto certification. She's out there
Yes.
helping people. So no,
Nope.
we're not scared. We're not scared.
Oh.
So yeah,
Well, thanks for tuning in, and, we'll be
yeah.
back here, next Tuesday at 11 a.m.
Mhm.
Eastern Standard Time. I never know where
You never know where we'll
no.
be.
Some some
Maybe maybe Darcy will be on a plane somewhere.
maybe. Maybe with some more planning.
Yeah,
Alright,
yeah.
well,
Get
let
on a
me
plane
see how
tomorrow.
I have to
Uh,
do something special to get off of this thing.
oh,
So,
that's right.
here we
That's right.
go. 3
Three, two, one.
I think this is the right one. Oh well, we're just going for it. We'll see y'all next week. Bye.